Take 3, final take. Take 4, final take. And recording.
Does it look like this today? Is it sunny in Glasgow when you are? Have you ever heard of the word flâneur? It's an old French word. It describes a person who walks around observing society. Can you follow my movements with the camera? Look down at the ground with me. It looks like it rained today. I like watching how people walk. You can tell a lot from how a person holds themselves. I'd like to take you on a walk. Turn left and walk down this commercial street. The city doesn't have many tall buildings. Have you ever gone to the top of a really tall skyscraper and looked across a sprawling metropolis? I haven't. I've only seen it in movies. I'm sure it would be wonderful, magical, even. Looking across a vast ocean of buildings, streets, and people. Each person weaving in between each other on the pavement. It must look like chaos from up there, yet no one collides. At first glance, all you'd see is an anthill, thousands of little specks. Their purpose unseen and not understood, their vast complexity out of reach. But as you look closer and realize that each one was a single person, a single entity, each using and filling the city with themselves and their story, each unique. Then you understand that the city is not made of the sea of buildings and streets that you first thought, but of each person who defines it through their use of it. Wait here. A person I greatly admire once said that a memory is like a suitcase. We drag it behind us, opening and closing it whenever we need to. But I think something is missing from this metaphor. We pass through the present, creating memories that we carry with us. But memories are as much a fabrication, a work of fiction, as they are reality. We can remember a past event in a variety of ways. It just depends on what door we choose to see it from. Keep walking. Do you like this place? I'd rather be at a lake. Let's continue. Walk down these stairs. I know this is a bit of a one-sided conversation. I'll speak less, and instead, I'll read you something. The French philosopher de Chateau wrote this. The ordinary practitioners of the city live down below the thresholds at which visibility begins. They walk, an elementary form of this experience of the city. They are walkers whose bodies follow the thicks and thins of an urban text they write, without being able to read it. These practitioners make use of the spaces that cannot be seen. Their knowledge of them is as blind as that of lovers in each other's arms. The networks of these moving, intersecting writings compose a manifold story that has neither author nor spectator. Shaped out of fragments of trajectories and alterations of space, in relation to representations, it remains daily and indefinitely other. I like this part. In urban texts, they write without being able to read it. Walking as writing, author as walker. I write my prose, not with a pen and paper, but with a foot and a street. If we make up the narrative of the city, then where does the park fall? stop here, next to this shoe shop. A park is a place we go to connect with nature. But what is nature according to a park? Lines of trees, paved paths, and squirrels. This isn't nature. This is a replica, a copy, a simulation of nature, designed to be accessible for us, designed to fill our need for nature, but not to challenge us. It uses just enough signs and motifs of nature to remind us of it, but not enough to make us feel uncomfortable. It's kind of like when we go to a museum. We're expected to suspend our disbelief. We see a painting or an image on a screen, and we have to forget the materials it's really made of, and believe in the illusion that the artist has created for us. We no longer believe in the park. In our world of nature documentaries and constant images of sublime landscapes, we are no longer tricked or duped by the science of the park. So how do we identify with nature now that a walk in the park no longer represents a connection with nature? So many of us consider what we see on the screens as real. We are tricked by these simulations, just like the park used to trick us. Let's continue walking. Stand out front of the doors here. Sorry about that humming noise. There's some sort of generator here. Let's skip ahead and keep walking inside. Go through the doors and turn right. At the beginning of this walk, I talked about a flaneur, a man who walks around observing society. It's interesting that in our world saturated with images and visual stimulation, we have lost the ability to perceive the things around us, the things closest to us. We have been conditioned to block out these overabundance of images, but with it, we have become blind and lost the ability and will to be critical of our surroundings. This is a fundamental part of our culture, as we can only grow if we are critical, and we can only be critical if we observe. Stop here. I wonder where the next train is leaving to. Do you see the arches of the station? They remind me of a bridge I saw a few days ago. I was leaving out to walk away from the city, away from the parks, to be closer to nature. The first time I came to Scotland, I was amazed at its natural beauty. It's the first time I really understood it. Understood that it was wild and free. It's our escape from each other. It's our moment where we are truly alone and have to face who we are. It's funny, you standing there in the train station, me out here in nature. You at the connecting gate between the artificial and the natural. I want to say that we are in two different worlds, but I'm not really sure if we are. Perhaps for us there are three worlds. My world out here, your world over there, and the world in between us. One thing I know for certain is that if we are in different worlds, I want to be part of both. We have to be part of both worlds. One connecting us, the other setting us free.